Hi students, in this lecture I'm going to go over Essay 3 on the Metamorphosis. So let's go ahead and turn to Canvas. Okay, so this week you're going to be reading the Metamorphosis. Do make sure that you check out the lectures on all the different parts of Metamorphosis as well as my class notes. You're also going to be taking part in a discussion in which you're going to be kind of exploring some of the different themes. Some of these themes might be class structure, classism, capitalism, progress in industry, labor, selfishness or selflessness, irony, sarcasm, the grotesque, absurdity, nihilism, identity, disability, dehumanization, hubris, and so on and so forth. And a lot of these themes can be attached to specific characters. They can be attached to the family as a whole. They can be attached to some of the outside characters like the chief clerk or some of the characters that make appearances throughout the story. But really you want to be thinking about what are some of the major themes that are going on in this novella. Essay 3 is going to be a little bit of a shorter essay. It's going to be only 3 pages, and you're basically going to be critically analyzing the Metamorphosis to create a thesis that argues about the purpose and meaning of the novella, as well as how the writer uses, those devices like theme, plot, characterization, symbolism. You might want to relook at week 2 when I kind of went over fiction terms. That might be helpful. And then you don't have to talk about all of these different things, but you want to pick maybe 1 or 2 and then talk about how those the uses of those devices create purpose and meaning. Finally, in your conclusion, you're going to be talking about the term existentialism, which, as I've said before, is a very fluid term. It really depends on what we're talking about. It can be internal, it can be external. It really deals with those post-war questions related to, what is the purpose of life? Is there meaning? Is there a God? Why am I here? Like really those existentialist kind of ideas. And depending on the character and the story that you're talking about, it really could change. For this essay, you can really focus on a lot of different things. If you want to focus on Gregor's transformation and what it is metaphorically, you could do that. You don't want to be too literal. He isn't literally a bug. Like, there's meaning behind the symbol of the bug, right? And a lot of people also want to talk about Greet. She's a really interesting character in and of itself. And so if you want to focus on her, you can. If you want to focus on her and the mother, or even the father and Gregor, that's fine too. So there's a lot of different things you can talk about in this paper, and I really want to leave it open to interpretation. Also note, there's no outside sources, so you're only looking at the novel. I only want to read your interpretation of it, so please no outside sources. And of course, you can use any of the lectures I've talked about in class, but you don't need to cite me specifically. And then there is also an Essay 3 checklist, so make sure you do check that out and review it. You literally can just copy and paste this into your Works Cited page. It's the only thing you need. So just keep that in mind. And then the same thing with your intro. You want to introduce the author's full name and the novella, which should be italicized. So no quotations this time. It's an actual novel. And then summarize it, introduce the themes, and your thesis statement. Okay, so it's pretty standard. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Okay, thanks.